Good morning, Centerville, and welcome to the Coffee at the Continental show. We're here to get you up and on the go. Good morning, Centerville. Good morning, good day, good latte. Yeah.
Good morning, Centerville. Doug Seib, InCentervilleIowa.com, and this is a special Pancake Day week edition of Coffee at the Continental.
It's going to be excellent. Great week.
Yeah, awesome week. What a busy week, and everybody's just running around crazy.
Yeah.
I think everybody on the square is just, whew. But that's awesome. Today, my guest, Bill Burch, and Bill is, as most of you know, a longtime local businessman and community activist. He has his fingers in an untold number of things going on and activities locally here in Centerville. And I invited Bill here today to talk about some of the recent articles that he had printed in the Daily Iowegian, kind of get the inside scoop on those. Bill, welcome to the show.
It's great to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, well, it's great to have you back.
Great opportunity.
It's been a month or so, a couple months, I guess, since our last show together.
It was warmer out then.
It was. We were outside. The fall is beautiful, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming. Leaves are starting to change. And first of all, I got to thank you for a lot of your advice and just support because we've really started to grow. And I got my big boy pants on. And I told you I was going to put them on, and I did. And things are and things are going really well. And I just want to thank you.
Well, you've got a good product, and you're bringing a service to town that no one else had the horsepower to bring. So
yeah. Well, thank you so much. We, and John Pettit, another person, just want to thank you. He was actually the first business that signed on, and of course PB Choppers, Jim Wubin has really helped us out. So awesome. Okay, let's get started here. I have a few questions, I guess. First, recently, the Iowegian published the community update from you, and there was a lot of information in the article. And first off, just tell us kind of why you wrote it. What was your?
Well, we are involved in a lot of things, and a lot of things come up. People ask, "Hey, what's going on with this?" or "What's going on with that?" Actually, it wasn't my plan for that to go in the paper, but Becky and Mike are both on my kind of local community email list. So I was coming up from my car, someone else asked me, what are you going to do at the Majestic Theater, and what about a couple other projects? So that night I just thought, I'm going to hammer out a quick email. It didn't end up being that quick, it ended up being pretty long when I started to list everything in there, but I wanted to send an email out, let everybody know what was going on, and I had sent it to the paper. Or to Becky and Michael both, and lo and behold, I was out of town, and all of a sudden my BlackBerry starts going goofy with these messages about an article in the paper. So that was the goal. We are involved in a lot. We've got 150, 160 employees, and probably 18 different projects that we're in the midst of. So I just wanted to try to keep everybody involved and let them know what's going on. We run a pretty transparent organization, right. So
keeps them in the loop.
Yeah, just put it out there. It was great.
There you go.
Yeah, it got out there.
It sure did. And I could sense you were trying to convey more than kind of what was written. Was there more to the message? Was there something?
Sure. Yeah. We don't give ourselves credit, and we tend to be good armchair critics, which isn't all bad.
Right.
But it's also good to notice some of the good things that are going on. And while we're busy finding ways that people can feel sorry for us, sometimes it's a little hard when you go to state information and you find out that in 2009, our retail sales were up over 9% over 2008. The rest of the country's dying.
They are.
And our retail sales were up significantly. We have a lot of stuff going on. There's people question Honey Creek. There's a state senator named Matt McCoy that just hammers Honey Creek as though it's not going to have any positive impact or that it's not worth it. But when you see the third most challenged county in Iowa when it comes to per capita income suddenly have a 9+% increase in retail sales alone, not to mention the trickle-down value of that and the additional jobs, you got to say, hey, something good is happening here. It's making a difference. at Bradley Hall, the Columns, the Continental Hotel, the X-Line Country Store, we all see a lot more traffic and a lot from Honey Creek.
Yep.
So we've got to give them some credit. So there was an underlying message there. You know, it's time to stop feeling so poor, because we're not as poor as we like to say we are. We've kind of gotten in a habit of being the martyr. We find romance in sharing our suffering.
Yeah.
And you know, after you start having some things go on like we do, we've got the world's largest town square, our retail sales are increasing, our job numbers are increasing, now we have the hotel, we have the things that Morgan Klein has done, which is too long a list to even talk about here. And then you have other things, you know, the Schmitz and other people in town that are doing extra things to make things much better. And we seem to keep adding, but pretending like it's not there. You know, we've changed physically, but we haven't changed mentally yet. So there was an underlying message.
Yeah. Well, cool. And that's, you know, you see it everywhere here in town. The businesses are growing. Tangleberries, I mean,
clearly,
the Schmitz, you know,
and
what
they
they're
do
doing.
a great job. Everything they touch, they do it really well.
Yes. But we get set in that mindset of, you know, the economy and blah, 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 and things aren't so great and this and that, but you look at the bigger picture, things aren't going so bad.
No.
Not at all.
Things are going great.
Things are going great here in Centerville. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't trade this town for the world. And, you know, I've lived all over the U.S., and I wouldn't trade it. Not a chance. This is where my kids are growing up, that's for sure. I wish Connor and Zach could have grew up here, but that's all right. Okay, and doing what I do as the host of InCentervilleIowa.com, I know events and stuff like that of what's going on. You see things a lot differently. You're looking more at business, economic development, community development. You see a different side of things, you know, because you're a businessman. I mean, I'm a businessman, but my business isn't business per se. You know what I mean?
I understand.
So, can you give me anything? Yeah. What do you see going well for the community? There
you go. What do I see going well? Well, we have a lot of great infrastructure. We've got great properties. We've got a great look. We've got great tourism. We have an awful lot of guests here. I think we physically have about everything we need, and the future looks really bright. We have one detriment, and that's that we need to become a lot more customer focused and really recognize and value that out-of-town guest. I think we do in part, but we're not being as aggressive at reaching out to them. Everyone that you run into here, once you get to know them a little bit, they just love you, and they love to get to know out-of-town people. But when they first show up, we tend to still be a little skeptical, but as soon as we get through that, I think we can knock it out of the park, because we've got so much that other people don't have. And you take a look at any other community, like county seat community in Iowa, I don't think you'll find one that has more resources, assets, and opportunity than Centerville. And that's not just jabber.
No, it's not.
That's straight inventory. Take a look at what we've got. I get a chance to visit with a lot of touring people and people that are community leaders in other communities. And I always hear, how did you do this? Where are you getting this money? How are you making these things happen? You have so much more than we have. What's the secret? You know, so you hear that and you think, wow, maybe we do have it going on. Maybe we do need to seize the moment and take advantage of this. So I see a great future for us.
Yeah, excellent. Most people that know you and that I've visited with, they consider you a bit of a visionary, a futurist, which is, I mean, kind of obvious. I mean, I think, anyways. But I know you. Maybe I know you a little better than some people. I don't know. We talk a little. Well, maybe not recently, but we used to talk a lot more than we're so busy now. But you have a practical and down-to-earth view of the community and the economic, the status and movement. And would you like to look into your crystal ball and anything?
Sure. I always like to look at it. It always changes a little bit, but I think we're moving into a great time. Practically speaking, our country's in a deep trough right now. And if we're fully loaded and we're ready to go and we're making it now, then if we can track that wave as the economy, which I believe is cyclical and cyclically, even though I don't know exactly when, cyclically is going to improve, then I think we can launch off that wave. I don't think we'll just ride it. I think we can launch and take off. I think we can see a quantum leap because we have what people are looking for. We have a great shopping experience. We've got a great destination. We've got great history. We've got great value. When it comes right down to it, you can't find great properties around here or great properties elsewhere like you can here for the money. People in California can sell their regular everyday 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage home, come to Centerville, buy a house, and retire on the difference of that money.
Wow.
Not counting any savings, not counting their retirements or their 401ks or anything else. And they can have a great quality of life here. Everything is going our way. It's just if we can seize the moment, the door is open. If we can walk through it and be who we need to be, we have everything else in place. So I think it looks to me like we're about to launch.
Don't pass the door.
Don't pass the door.
Don't pass the door.
Go through that door.
All right. Wrap things up here. Any closing comments? Anything?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for having me. I love what you're doing. A lot of people have talked about doing things like this for a long time. We've even messed with it in our office and failed miserably. But you're pulling something off that people don't pull off. People need to recognize execution as almost heroic because people don't finish. We like to talk. We love to go to meetings. We love to talk about what we might do or what somebody needs, our business needs, or our community needs. But then we seem to leave that meeting and leave our coffee cup, and right alongside that coffee cup we leave the dream, and we go back to our everyday lives. And you've done something that nobody else has done, and something that's very valuable to the community. Quick little story, I was talking to someone yesterday from California, and they said that they'd gone online, Googled me, and they found our last interview of us out on the front sidewalk.
Right.
And that's impactful. You can't miss that. People are finding us. The more content there is on the internet, the better your search engine results in Centerville, Iowa. Is driving search results for Centerville. It's increasing positive buzz. It's all positive, and it's replacing the goofy little oddball article about flooding or something.
Right.
Somebody that passed away that people were finding before because there was no content. All there was before was a little tiny bit of news, which generally is what you find in the newspaper, which generally isn't all that positive. There just wasn't much, and you've done an incredible job of putting some inventory out there on the internet that's very positive. So you need to be commended.
Wow, thank you so much. And Centerville, this week, Pancake Day is going to be awesome, and make sure you stop in the Continental and check out their coffee. If you haven't had a latte here or an espresso, you need to check one out. They're really awesome.
They're the real deal.
Also, don't forget, Tangleberries is having a big sale too. So people need to check that out because that's right here on the square.
Absolutely, and even Marketplace Deli, I think they've got some interesting things going on too. So it's great. Great to spend a little quality time on the square.
And of course, Chris Kessler will be out cooking. He'll be out there doing whatever. I'm trying to get see if he'll let me get a camera up on his roof for the parade. But we'll see. I don't know why.
I don't ask you.
I'll just go up there. Just do it. All right, Centerville. Bill, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure. Centerville, have a great day, and we will see you on Pancake Day, if not before.